Hello everyone, I'm still Mojo from Kazna, doing videos for Cursor TV together with Coyote, but usually lately on English without him. Today we're gonna check out an interesting demo applied by Laponak from OMNI. He has NGTS in front of the name, and I've seen that in several players by OMNI. I'm really interested. Is that some kind of ESL team or something? I hope someone can actually tell me that. Anyways, he's playing Skoda T50. That's a tier 9 Czech vehicle that you really need to play in order to get a tier 10. It is the dirty vehicle, the ultimate tier 10 medium now. And honestly, if you want to even buff your VN8, this is the vehicle you want to keep, because I've noticed this vehicle is very versatile and gives you a lot of those points. Now we are going to check out some of the specs of the tank at hand. Of course, first we are going to check out the gun. It is an autoloader gun with 3 shells, and these are the specs we are looking at with this Persian aiming time of 2.2, 248 pen of APCR, 310 with heat, 320 average, and what does it not say here? It's 1.8 seconds between the shells itself. It goes 50 kilometers per hour, which is really nice. Tier 10 goes even faster, 60. From armor, it's decent for this kind of autoloader tank, because it can actually bounce from time to time. You don't want to expect it happen regularly. It's like a bit of a bulky tank, like a Lorraine, but it happens. And more importantly, it has elevation arc of -8. Now, here we can check out when the tank is fully equipped. When you put ventilation, gun length drive, vertical, and even rations you can use here on this tank, because they don't burn much. And here we go. The aim time drops to 180, same as a shell between. So you can just shoot fuff, 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 and it's over. It's really great. And even dispersion drops to this. Look at this value. It's brilliant. So this is then the view range without any additional help of coated. And I would really suggest that the tank like this you play without coated, because you want to focus on full shooting. You are a damage dealer in this, and you should behave so. You should let other people do some front spotting, unless it's a small map. By armor we can see it has some areas that can bounce when it's positioned well. It's mainly in this top part. The rest is pretty fragile, no matter how you position it. So you can hope on some bounces on these surfaces here if you are really in upper position, but don't count on it. It will be mainly the areas around the gun, and then the people will mainly damage your gun, which is not a very cool thing to happen. Now we're gonna talk about Laponak's game. He played Skoda on cliff from the south side. I'm gonna give you some hints how can you play a medium here, because I've seen a lot of guys do some really weird stuff that are not necessary. Now we can always start with basic choice from the south. We can go like here, and here we can bring a choice. We can go in this position, this, or this. Now what do we gain? From this position here, we can shoot a bit like this from a hull down. This position is best suited honestly for other kind of tanks, not Skoda, that have a hard turret, so you can peek with it. And of course, since the patch, this position is in a problem, because the guys from the other side can climb like this and then shoot you in a flank. So this position became a problem now. The other position from the middle is the most versatile, especially when it's a no RT game and you play a fast tank, because then you can just give them the shots like this while they're trying to cross left and right. And of course, if you have a decent hull down, like on Skoda, you can be here, and then you can just get your shots wherever you want. Now there is an alternative, two of them actually, to this. If you have a really fast tank, you can just go like this and play a hull down and shoot from this area on the tanks that are even like this. I know this is a bit messy, but you can get those cross shots. And if you know how, you can climb up on a hill from here, or there is an alternative, a slow way from here, and then you climb up, and then you have control of the hill, and then you can shoot everywhere around. Wherever you want, you can shoot, and a very few tanks can return you the fire. But you must be careful, because often you will be a prime target for a faraway snipers and for arty. So you have to do this lighthouse dance a lot, especially while you are in reload. That being said, we are going to check out the demo itself. Laponak is starting from the south, as we said, and the one info I forgot to mention that is quite important. The reload of clip on T50 is around 20. You can see some traffic jam here on the start. That's really sad. Also, from 9.14 I would everyone suggest to turn on the additional features on the map, where most important thing is this yellow circle on a mini-map, because that one is actually your draw range. What that means in reality? In reality it means if someone else is spotting somewhere on a map, so something you cannot see yourself, but you can shoot it up to the level of that yellow line, because then it will be in your visual range, like you will see it on a map though you don't spot it yourself. So when something is really far away and you want to snipe it, it's like 500 meters plus, that is your best friend. Okay, so Laponak chose our third middle option, as we saw. You can play a cooldown from here very nicely. This is a no RT game with a lot of TDs, so he has to be careful about some back sniping. And look, this is a really nice track from catching that 69. The only thing he has to be careful when he's climbing like that are actually the closest tanks, like that Centurion, because they can sneak through the bushes a bit and shoot him in a flank. And he knows that, so that's why he fell back, so he can fade. Fading, guys, is very important part of this game. That means when you are spotted, you want to go away for like 8 to 10 seconds, and the guys cannot see you anymore, though you're very close. So you can then return, do a few more shots, and then can fade again. But Laponak here, yeah, look at this really nice angle. And ultimate bounce on Rheinmetall with 248 pen. I mean, that can happen, I guess. He shot something like a gun, but still it's like really weird when you see it happen. It's like a nonsense. And he's keeping this position because you can see on E3 are his friends. So his team is actually controlling his left flank, so he can play more freely. And there is no one really close who can shoot him. So he's using his gun depression really nicely here, aiming and waiting for someone possibly to come. But they're a bit chased away by the other guys. Yeah, really nice, smart positioning. And this is the guy he's been waiting for. So he took care of him. I like this Czech voice when he says, "Yeah, boy, yeah." It means something on Serbian. I'm not gonna translate here. Okay, so he's speaking here really aggressive, checking out does he have angles. All of the other guys on the maps are spotted, so he can actually do it. Otherwise, it would be really dangerous. He could get shot from something like a bush on A5 or whatever. And there is one guy on a hill. He already put a reload, as you see. You need to use reload. The C is a button for it, for autoloaders, for those that don't know. And this guy doesn't even see him, but he will get wrecked. 1, 2, 3 shells, and he already took 2 shots from down, so they finished him off, and he is the king of the hill now. The result is really good for his team. 4-2. They have all the best positions, the higher ground. Like, guys, the key of winning the cliff is controlling the high ground. So that's above the fire line. When you control that, you have a much larger chance to win the game in randoms and both in clan wars. And this is what I've been telling you. When you're up on a hill, you can really use your gun depression, and if you're careful, you can snipe the guys down, and most of them cannot return it. Like that T10 actually had to turn his entire tank uphill to find a bump on the ground so he can aim that far up. That means he's totally exposed to other people now. And you can see Laponak even had a draw range to shoot Lorraine if he wanted. That was almost on a cap in the other base. So he's a bit running out of APCR. Soon it will come the skill ammo, the hiss ammo, as we call it, because of the sound that he gives when he hits a target. It's like a hiss. And invisible T10 behind a rock and bush. And there we go. Nice. A track shot and an ammo rack. Okay, didn't know that. Guys, if you want to wreck a T10, shoot behind the first wheel. Very nice. Okay, so he's dropping down. Like, this is a very dangerous feature in 9.14, because you can, on some ridiculously small bumps lose humongous amounts of health. But it got him right where he wants to be, and that's behind an IS-4, and he can ignore any kind of armor this IS-4 has because he can just clip it in the ass. His totally unprotected part. And he's immediately driving away. That's very cool because population in this square is too big for greens. Like all the targets now are stuck on a bottom ground. Like even you guys that play lower tiers, you could have noticed when you're playing cliff and you're stuck below, if the other team wins the top, you are dead. There is no way to defend that unless the guys on the other team are total lemmings and they just suicide parachute jumping down or whatever, and then you're like suddenly victorious. So even if you play tanks like TDs, move a bit out. Yes, few tanks are always needed down, so the enemy doesn't have the complete control of that, but not all. You can always move even a slower tank somewhere on A5, A6 and shoot on the middle from there, and even go around the lighthouse. And this tiger, yes, he angled himself to fire a shot, but he doesn't care. Like, he will do 3 for the one the tiger did, and the other guys will finish him. And this is the way where you, when you're playing from the other side, this is the way where you climb up. Where he leaned, when you take a full speed, it needs to be a faster tank, you get there. And there you say, Laponak tells him like his reload is 20 seconds. And oh, this was a bit bad aiming on the tortoise, but never mind. 2 out of 3 shells is always fine. Now I see he carries 2 clips of HE ammo. I guess he does that for some situation if you meet those paper Waffen TDs, but because of the 20-second reload he can do it, but I don't think it's really needed. Like, guys, you just carry either APCR or hit and you will do fine whatever you meet. And this shot would be tenable only with hit, because that angled tortoise, yes, he shot where that machine gun is, that's a weak spot, but still, hitting it requires really nice gun and really huge pen. And this game is definitely coming to an end. It's almost an stomp, and by what you would see from Laponak's game, he has 4 kills and 2 guys on one shot. And there's one more. No one will steal it. And he will be a top gun in this game. Now we're gonna check and see the after stats of the game. But this was really nicely played game, and although it looked easy, guys, this is just this tank. It looks easy, but it requires skill. Laponak had a really nice game. I really liked how he played and behaved himself, and the experience shows it. Like with premium 2.6k, actually 2653 experience. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 merciful medals from Wargaming. You can see them: Hand of God, Spotter, Bruiser, Demolition Expert, Duelist, Fire 4 Effect, blah blah, yada yada. A lot of cash, 106k, a high caliber and a top gun. And in this part is the juicy stuff. Almost 8000 damage, 6 kills. Like that's really a lot, considering, you know, he has like 3 shells and he has to shoot constantly. But that's actually the greatest advantage of this tank. You can do the constant shooting, and while you're reloading you just move your position slightly and you go and continue to make someone else's life miserable. And we can see he fired 32 shells, missed only 2, and of those he didn't pen only 4. So really good shooting, because he was not shooting that much of the heat until he ran out of the rest of the things. And he even had some damage upon detecting. And at the end, even some profit. Even some profit, though he shot goal. So, I really hope you liked this video. Laponak had a really nice game, and I'm glad he sent this replay to us. It's even 9:14 demos, so you could see how to slide down from the cliff. And watch us again on Cursor TV. Thank you all.